Welcome back, everybody. We're fighting this big old spider. We got a little bit further. I hope you liked that little fast forward sequence that we had.
And now I'm here.
And Bradshaw, too. Some reason, yeah. Just Bradshaw showed up.
Popped up. Here I am.
We didn't invite him or anything.
No, dude. That's what I do. I just show up. Anytime I'm on here, I just randomly showed up.
Yeah,
He's like pretty much.
He's omnipotent.
He just knows when it's going on.
That's what I do.
While we were getting to this section of the fight, Bradshaw was talking about how I brought up in the last episode or a couple episodes ago the similarities between this boss and Loveless from Wild Wild West.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And I guess there's some more fun trivia for DC and Spider.
So I'm trying to find this dude's name right now. It's a very often talked about scenario from that Kevin Smith had done.
Oh my god.
There's
this whole
a dude,
right here.
the guy who
switching shoulders.
He used to be Barbara Streisand's like hairdresser, and he John Peters is his name.
Hello,
and,
John.
Hello, John.
When Kevin Smith was working at the time, he had been hired to write the Superman movie they were working on at the time before Superman Returns, called that Smith had called Superman Lives, and he had a meeting with Peters about it. I don't know how Peters like parlayed his way into owning movie rights for these people, but he did, and or production rights, something. And he, in the meeting, there's a lot of just funny stuff and kind of like where you could tell the dude was kind of into himself a lot and had strange ideas. And he said, the thing you have to put in there.
This was to Kevin Smith.
Saying this is he wanted a fight with polar bears up by the Fortress of Solitude.
Does that make sense?
Right, and then I forget and then he said he wanted to fight these giant spider monsters, which he called Thanagarian snare beasts. Thanagar.
Awesome name.
Yeah, Thanagar is the home planet of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Cool.
And that's what he had called it. But and so eventually, like the whole Superman Lives thing, that whole project went into stasis. It's the one they've made a documentary about it. It eventually, at one point, had Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god, yeah.
All that shit, like that was throughout the life of this movie.
Yeah.
And that stopped, and then the movie he made after that was Wild Wild West. And what should come to fruition in Wild Wild West, but they fight a giant spider.
Look at that thing.
And then later on in Man of Steel.
James West, Desperado. No, you don't want none of it.
In Man of Steel, which Peters was also a producer on, there's a part where he goes up to the Fortress of Solitude in the North Pole, and there's a very prominent shot of polar bears. No fight happens, but it's a very prominent shot of just like focused on polar bears. And then if you remember the terraformers that the bad guys, the Kryptonians, bring, look like giant mechanical spiders.
Like college ball, you know.
So it eventually came to fruition in a Superman movie in one way or another as well. Just crazy. How this dude parlayed into from a hairdresser into a producer with some creative control is just kind of crazy.
It's all who you know, and Barbra Streisand is like royalty in Hollywood.
Right, so. Exactly. So, and it was probably when he got his start was in like doing production was like in the 80s and 90s, which was when Streisand was just huge.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, my boy Armstrong.
Oh, here's where it gets really radical.
So that cartoon stop right there?
Yep.
Focus.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yep.
The cheers.
The cheers.
The fucking... It's
yeah. America. I'm Donald Trump, bitch.
Yeah.
Look at that butt chin, too.
Right?
Oh, boy, Sean.
Oh, boy.
This dude just...
He's got all the hallmarks of the successful...
Look at that
successful peak white man in America. He's got the receding hairline. He's got the subtle glasses, the ripped body,
the tucked in,
the businessman senator look, or he's got it all, man.
Man.
like 7
walk
feet
way
tall
too
for some
early.
reason.
Yeah, he's huge. Ooh, what the hell?
What is going on with the shadows? The shader's bugging out.
They had some
Armstrong's doing it.
some
He's
like
just too strong.
some chaos magic like shit happened this weekend.
Hmm?
I went down to the cities for a concert,
Oh yeah,
and for Coheed and Cambria concert,
cool.
and we stayed with Matt Miller
Oh, right on.
and our buddy, and we went to on Saturday we went to the Guillermo del Toro exhibit
Oh, cool.
at
Mall of America.
no, it was like the Minnesota Institute for the
Institute.
Arts or the Minneapolis Institute for the Arts or whatever.
Finally did a chin dodge.
Yep, he did it. Then he realizes, just like, oh shit, dude.
But
But like, and I didn't realize, like, I knew it was like all stuff from like his collection of stuff, but I didn't really think about it. So like when we walk in, like one of the first things I see is there's like Hellboy concept art done by the guy who created Hellboy, Mike Mignola, in the comic books. And like, so I was like, shit, there's stuff like this in here. And they had like all his like journals and shit that would be open to a page, but they were in a case. And then they had a tablet that you could like slide through and look at all the pages in it if you wanted to.
That's cool.
But like, as we got further, then there was like a bunch of like comic art, like original comic art from Mignola. But he also had from one of our last sessions, he had stuff from Mobius.
Oh, kick ass.
And one of the ones he had is one of the pictures I showed you too,
Oh,
which was
really?
crazy. And then he had stuff from Bernie Wrightson,
Okay.
the guy who did Swamp Thing,
Oh, right on.
and it was from his like Frankenstein book he did, and it was really fucking sweet. And then I was like, holy, dude,
All
this-
concept stuff or just like
no,
first
some of
edition
the
stuff? or-
original pages,
Okay.
the original page art for some of the Frankenstein stuff, and
Yeah.
and then
Del
the
Toro's
original.
such a fanboy. Like he's so into it.
One of the Mobius ones was like black and white, or just white essentially, but I mean like pen. And then the other one was a finished colored product. He had also had an H.R. Geiger original there as well. That was fucking sweet. He had props and stuff from all his movies, like the jacket from Hellboy, and Big Baby, and like a bunch of props and shit, and like a helmet from Pacific Rim, and like dresses from Crimson Peak, and a bunch of shit from Pan's Labyrinth. He had concept art for Night on Bald Mountain from Fantasia.
Yeah, sweet.
He had concept art from Sleeping Beauty.
Whoa.
He had concept art from the Disney Sleepy Hollow.
Ichabod.
Yeah, and
Story
it
of
was.
Ichabod?
Yep. Well, no, it was a picture of the Headless Horseman. It was reared up with the flame. It was all black, but the light from the flaming pumpkin lit him up. And he had concept art from
Do you know
Pinocchio.
do you know what the Headless Horseman's real name in mythology is?
It's like some British dude, isn't he?
His name was Dullahan.
Doulahan?
If you look him up on Wiki, that's like the actual name of the mythos.
Right,
It's
what-
not like Headless Horseman. It's,
Right.
His name was Dullahan.
Wasn't he like a British soldier or some shit?
I think that was where it spun off from. Yeah.
But yeah, and then Pinocchio concept art, which tripped me out because that's old as fuck.
That's the first ever. Well, that's like the first Disney movie to like win an Oscar. I think.
Yep. Yeah, it was like his third movie or fourth movie or something was Pinocchio. First one was Snow White. But yeah, he had a lot of shit like that in there. It was super cool. A lot of like Lovecraft stuff and like
Yeah, he's probably got like
a lot of the rooms were like dedicated to movies,
Lord Dunsany.
but also like specific movies kind of had their own rooms. But also at the same time, like it had various like influences. Like he had like a big thing on Frankenstein, and like a big part with like freaks from freak shows, and like Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft and shit like that. It was really cool, and like collections of various stuff like that. There's
This
that
guy is Trump.
that dude I think that you brought up that one time that has the really really dark like paintings like dark subject matter and like kind of hellish.
Oh yeah. The Russian.
Yeah, his name has a bunch of S's and Z's in
Yeah,
it and shit.
Zigzag.
Yeah, he had a few of his shit in there.
Really?
It was super cool, man.
He's
Super
into
cool.
that really grim stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
if you've seen like a lot of Del Toro's old films, he's
Yeah.
influenced by
Oh yeah,
the
they had a bunch of
Spanish
shit from
Civil War.
Kronos too.
Kronos and
Yeah.
Devil's Backbone.
Devil's Backbone. See, they had a thing where there was a little part. It was dark and cut off with like blinds on either side, but there's an opening, and then like at the end of the hallway was a statue of the boy from the creepy.
Devil's Backbone?
Yeah, and
That's such
with
a cool
creepy
kid.
music and shit in the background, and like an old radio next to him, and it was just like, oh, it was
Movie,
spooky.
That's one of my first Criterion films I got. It's a good one.
Yeah, he's got it was crazy. He had a life mask of fucking Boris Karloff.
Cool.
From when they did the Frankenstein stuff. Like it's just a lot of cool history stuff. He had a wall with a bunch of his own personal comic collection on there too.
I like how his attitude completely changes when he feels like he has a potential vote.
Right? Oh yeah, dude.
Dusts him off.
Politician, dude.
He
Through
does
and
him off
through.
like, you're okay.
Shake my hand.
But it was crazy to me how much shit was in there of stuff we've talked about on here and
yeah.
recently, like especially like the Mobius and like rights and stuff, and like, oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was super cool though, super cool. I guess it kind of it's that tour kind of serves as a taster, so people will actually come to the actual house. Cause like that's all his collections. He's moved into a house that he calls Bleak House.
Okay.
And that's in like Los Angeles or whatever, and he's gonna be opening that up as like a museum type thing.
Uh-huh.
You can go see all that shit. So I guess this tour kind of serves as a promo for that.
Yeah, out of all of the Mexican invasion or the South American invasion of directors like Cuarón and Del Toro and Iñárritu,
Yeah.
I really like Del Toro because he's got a really good vision, and he's got a fantastical way of storytelling.
Right.
Whereas the other guys have aesthetics, like Iñárritu and Cuarón have like great visual aesthetics.
Yeah.
But the subjects that they choose, like Gravity, Children of Men, like those are all really beautifully shot
Yeah.
and really bleak. But like every Del Toro movie I've seen is just all like fantasy and like really like a spectacle. It's like
Well, it's also like meticulous without trying too hard.
yeah, he doesn't try too hard. He has fun with his movies.
I think the only thing he gets meticulous with is how it looks. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and there's influence from a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
You can see his references in like Pan's Labyrinth from
yeah.
like Cthulhu, or all the Lord Dunsany and H.P. Lovecraft influences.
right, which was there in Hellboy to begin with, but
Yeah, fighting those like the subway monsters
Yeah.
and all that
like
stuff.
yeah, like Hellboy the comic was always fought a lot of fucking Lovecraftian type shit, which was why he was perfect for it. Mm-hmm. Did we talk about the whole like announced reboot of Hellboy?
Like a movie franchise?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Mignola announced a reboot. I forget who the director is, but the dude who played the sheriff in Stranger Things is gonna be Hellboy.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Hopper.
And then Jeffrey Tambor, who was in Hellboy,
Yep.
blasted off some tweets just kind of talking shit on Mignola. Because Mignola's like, yeah, don't, you probably, like, that's all good and all, but you probably should have, like, thanked Del Toro and Perlman for what they did for it and shit. And, like you wouldn't be, essentially, like, you just had a meeting with them and you said no to doing Hellboy 3. And then just go turn around and then announce this without any kind of acknowledgement of what kind of allowed you that success, I guess.
Yeah.
He got spicy with him a little bit, got a little sassy.
Tambor did?
Yeah, he got a little sassy about it. But like, it makes sense. Like, are you going to make a movie where the budget's going to have to be high because A, the story that it is, and B, to get all the people who have gotten much bigger in that time to come back, and then have it be the end of the trilogy and not be able to make any more money?
But
off
Del
of it?
Toro's not connected to it, is he?
No. Or are you going to reboot it where you can make it for cheaper and get cheaper actors and then be able to build a longer franchise?
I'd like to see it on a Netflix.
You know.
I'd like to see episodic Hellboy. That'd be sweet.
That would be tight. I should figure out. Because I'm pretty sure they announced a director for it, too.
So are these nanomachines running through his body?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
They're like in every cell of his body.
And like,
Harden his skin, make his muscles stronger, pump his blood faster, and breathe better.
don't they react to like kinetic energy too?
Mm-hmm.
This dude is badass.
He is, dude.
He's got some pretty cool tech mods.
My God.
Hits you so hard, it blows up the Excelsus.
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 I'm still alive.
I'm alive. I
My
did
armor's
it.
black now.
Okay,
Red
the
clothes.
person who's attached to direct it is Neil Marshall,
Okay.
who made The Descent, and also directed episodes of Game of Thrones.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's probably done like those big like Battle of Blackwater or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that name before.
And it's got the working title of Hellboy: Rise of the Blood Queen,
Awesome.
and has a script by Andrew Cosby, Christopher Golden, and Hellboy creator Mike Mignola.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know who any of those writers are.
They're probably just studio
Right.
pawns.
I'm guessing is like Mignola will have like propose a story and then they'll like,
treat it, yeah.
Yeah.
He just has a treatment and they just go after that and add like little context.
I like how Sam's scabbard is essentially a AR-15 upper and lower strapped onto a regular sword
Yeah,
scabbard.
yeah.
It's even got the bolt release right above the magazine.
Well, his does have the trigger, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think a bolt release is probably unnecessary for a scabbard like that. So how many times are you gonna do that gun draw in
Yeah.
a fight?
I think it only has like one good ignite.
And how would you like to have to swap magazines on that thing in the middle of the fight?
Yeah, that'd be kind of
So,
a pain.
I gotta do my cool draw slash, but I'm out of bullets.
Hold on now.
Timeout.
So the only writing credits that Andrew Crosby has is he was the co-creator of a TV show called Haunted, and the co-creator or creator of the TV show Eureka, which was on Sci-Fi for a while.
Eureka, I remember that show.
Yeah, but that's the only things he's done. Apparently,
So they're getting the bottom of the barrel writers.
right? Cheap.
Cheap guys for, I guess, a cheap production. It's all going to the visual effects.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, since it's gonna relaunch a series too, instead of be like a final entry, they don't have to give it a bunch of fucking money either.
Why did you kick my dog?
You come to my house and you kick my dog.
I did what?
You come into my house.
Someone actually
And you
got me with
kicked
that
my
crank
dog.
call before.
Really?
Oh yeah. I fell for it hard too. Like, started calling the guy a motherfucker, and like, I didn't kick your dog. Like,
Jesus, Sean.
I was getting upset.
Motherfucker.
Okay,
Nobody accuses me of animal abuse.
The only thing this dude has written is
Oh, you gotta pause it.
dialogue for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the video game, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds, the video game.
A video game writer.
And a couple movies called Ghosts of Albion. Ghosts of Albion Legacy and Ghosts of Albion Embers.
Well, I hope you guys get to check those out sometime.
Yeah.
Go watch them now and give us your thoughts. And
Tell us if this is right for Hellboy.
yeah, look into the writing. Pay attention to the dialogue. And yeah, let us know what you think.
We know what the director can do.
Yeah. But we'll be right back. We're going to fight more of this Armstrong dude.
The coolest.
The coolest duder.